The Call of the Wild, the trailer analysis. With the 2020 release of The Call of the Wild, starring Harrison Ford playing second banana to a computer dog, I thought it would be interesting to examine the trailers used to promote the movie. The crafting of a movie trailer is an art of itself, and because it's out of the hands of the director and writers of the movie, a trailer can negatively impact the intended audience for a film. This is a critical analysis of the trailers advertising this movie. So if you don't like that, then just go see the movie and enjoy the creative work of those who devoted many months, if not years, in putting it together. As a positive start, the main trailer for the film succeeds in its intended job. It shows prospective moviegoers what they're getting for their money. It promises high adventure for teens and adults, as well as lighthearted comedy for the kids. It showcases the talents of Harrison Ford, whom we are told did his scenes with a human actor taking the physical place of the computer dog. The trailers seem to spoil the funniest scenes of the movie, but that's something we've come to expect from Hollywood. Speaking of spoilers, this review will only give spoilers in context of how the movie changed important portions of the original novel. So let's examine the full Fox Studios trailer, which is roughly 2 minutes running time. Western Canada is packed with amazing examples of natural beauty. You see the legendary novel there. What that means when they say legendary novel, they mean its copyright has expired and it was free for them to make a film about. But look at almost every exterior shot from the trailer, and also the TV spots, is computer generated, either by enhanced natural scenes or by eliminating reality altogether. In all cases, the actors are dropped into such scenes, indicating a wholesale computer replacement of set locations, such as seen in Emil Hirsch's Speed Racer. Is there something wrong with such an approach? No, unless the entire purpose of your movie is to make the audience appreciate the splendor of nature. Heck, even Charlton Heston's friend in Soylent Green got to see the real nature footage before he died. Who would want to see a simulated Yukon when they can have the real thing? Also, I think it's a mistake to move filmmaking away from real live animals by shutting modern children off from the natural world, where computer reality is depicted as better. The filmmakers fail to impart a lesson to the next generation of what is worth preserving and to be custodians of nature. The unintended message of these computer replacements for animals and scenery is, the heck with reality, we can improve upon it. Let's go back and review what the original story was of The Call of the Wild by Jack London. As our helpful encyclopedia reference here shows, The Call of the Wild is a short adventure novel by Jack London, published in 1903 and set in Yukon, Canada, not the United States, not Alaska, in a foreign country, Canada, during the 1890s Klondike Gold Rush, when strong sled dogs were in high demand. The central character of the novel is a dog named Buck. Now, this is important because from the trailers you would believe that Harrison Ford is the star of the movie. No, the dog Buck is the star. The trailers are also a bit misleading in that Buck goes through a series of owners on his route from America to Canada. Harrison Ford's character is a man named Thornton. John Thornton, an experienced outdoorsman who notices the dog's poor and weakened condition. So in the book, spoiler alert, which really isn't a spoiler for the movie because the movie diverges significantly from the book. Call of the Wild is largely about groups of greedy people who travel to the Canadian Klondike looking to get rich fast by stealing gold from the Indians there. They enter Indian territory in the Canadian Yukon. Harrison Ford's character, Thornton, is based on Jack London's personal experience. As a youth who went to the Klondike during the gold rush in hopes of striking it rich. And look at all these characters here. These are all the major dog characters in the book. These are the major human characters. Take notice of this person, Hans, down near the bottom, John Thornton's two partners as he pans for gold in the east. And the Yehots, a tribe of Native Americans. In the novel, the Yehots kill Harrison Ford's character, John Thornton. Buck attacks them and starts attempting to kill them all. But eventually in the book, Buck figures out that this was a human struggle and not his struggle. He answers the call of the wild and joins the wild wolf packs as depicted in that nice picture there. Now, as I said, Buck's adventures with Thornton is only the closing portion of the book, but it is made to be the focus of the various movie trailers. And there's various themes, reception and legacy, adaptations, which Harrison Ford's is the most recent. I want to draw your attention to the Yeehaw Indians in the actual story. Now, in the movie version, this is according to the review by movie critic James Berardinelli, link included on the review page, there are several differences notable from book to film. The character of Hal is only briefly in the book, dying with Charles or Mercedes. Is it Hans or Hal? Let me look. Yeah, there, Hal. But he is made to be the primary villain of the movie, surviving to menace Buck and Thornton through the end. This neatly eliminates any mention of the activities of the Yeehaw Indians, the Native Americans who actually live in the Klondike and who aren't presented in the book as happily handing over their gold from those who have come to steal it. To close with a direct quote from the critic, the film also adds action scenes that weren't in the novel. The most outlandish of these are an underwater rescue and an avalanche escape. Toward the end, the movie diverges significantly from the book, and few, if any, of the changes are for the better. End quote. This is an unfortunate tendency of modern Hollywood movie making, where they yank out key elements of novels, then bloat the movie out with scenes and characters that are, quote, more exciting, unquote, to the screenplay writers and movie directors. From World War Z to Call of the Wild, one wishes that Hollywood would have had more respect for the source material. Something else that caught my attention is the difference between the 30-second television and internet spots. These run continuously on streaming television channels like Hulu, and I presume also on broadcast TV. I want to draw your attention to this 30-second spot, which is intended to show the whimsical aspect of the movie, and does an effective job of that, but focusing on action scenes. But I want to draw your attention to the closing spot here. Now, pay close attention to that dialogue. Harrison Ford is depicted as saying, "What am I going to do with you?" And the dog gives him the eye. Alright, very cute, right? Now let's go to a second TV spot and watch something very different happen. So they took the same reaction shot of the dog making an eye at Harrison Ford, and they completely changed the meaning of the scene. Buck's humanized guilty glance has been misused here in two different commercials. As a teenager, I saw a trailer for Short Circuit, an Ali Sheedy comedy about a sentient robot. The trailer cuts two scenes together of Sheedy's character coming out of the shower naked, with the robot making an appreciative lewd comment. Yes, millennials, the 80s were very different in movie making. When I finally watched the movie at the movie theater, I found that these were two separate scenes spliced together by the trailer maker. They falsified the movie to make it seem more interesting than what was actually filmed. The whole point of a fictional movie is to get the audience to believe a lie, to share in an illusion. But when you betray the audience's trust with deceptive trailers, or trailers that reveal too much, the illusion is broken, and people get ticked off. Call of the Wild created two 30-second spots, which repeats this error. The editor of the trailer created two separate commercials showing the dog making a sarcastic face in response to something that Harrison Ford says. Here the trailer creator commits the sin of not caring whether you saw both commercials. They just throw random scenes together, hoping you'll be amused and show up to see the movie. Instead, this sloppiness indicates to me that people producing this movie should not take my dollar for granted. I am choosing to spend my time in going to the movie theater to see this, to spend money on the tickets, concessions, and driving home afterwards. Don't waste my time. No one should take moviegoers for granted, and insulting us in the trailer before the movie even starts is not the best approach. Finally, I want to address something that came up in the weeks leading up to the movie's release. They added an additional spot. This is the This Land Is Your Land TV spot from 20th Century Studios. And I'm going to bring the volume up here and see if you can hear this. As I was walking a ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me beyond all maps where no one's been. Stop the tape. Beyond all maps where no one's been. Tell that to the yeehaw Native Americans who have lived there for the past 10,000 years, Harrison Ford. You're invading their land to steal their gold. Now, I'm not going to revise history here on the Klondike Gold Rush or the mistreatment of Native Americans, but as long as Hollywood is going to be sensitive to historical accuracy, let's be accurate and call these people the gold rushers for what they really were. They were thieves. They were coming onto Indian tribal territory uninvited to steal their gold and to basically shoot anyone who got in their way. In the novel, The Call of the Wild, the author treats this with cold realism, that a number of the Native Americans take issue with these interlopers, mostly from the United States of America, coming north into their territory to steal their natural wealth. And they kill a number of the people in the novel, including Thornton, Harrison Ford's character. So we go to this commercial, and the acoustic song playing is a modern rendition of This Land Is Your Land by Woody Guthrie.
Be free.
He's not going there to be free. He's going there to steal their gold. So I'll just play that again. Oh, shut up. So, this is a folk song by Woody Guthrie. He only performed it in public twice, or at least we have 2 recordings of it, and it's considered a landmark recording. The song is about Woody Guthrie traveling across the United States. It has nothing to do with going into a foreign country and stealing their gold. So the commercial is entirely inappropriate for the song in question. It's not this land is your land. It's this land belongs to the Native Americans and the Canadians, and these American uh, interlopers are coming in there to steal their stuff. So this land is not your land. How about that? Just a funny commercial here. And I only note this as Hollywood positions themselves as champions of tolerance and diversity when it's obviously a superficial effort on their part. Now, let's give a summary here because I've been a little harsh on this movie. It's now after the first weekend of release for The Call of the Wild. The early figures are showing, courtesy of Geeks Odin of Geeks and Gamers, link provided, that the movie may not even break even. Especially considering that the ad campaign appears to exceed the cost of Harrison Ford's salary. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog is also a computer graphics character that is doing very well and earned more money this weekend in its second week of release than the Call of the Wild. I think that's an interesting juxtaposition because Sonic the Hedgehog is also a computer character. I'll just put that up there. So what is the difference here? Why is this movie out-earning the Harrison Ford spectacular? That's a question that Odin explores from Geeks and Gamers, but it's obviously a good question. Both of them star computer-generated animals with human sidekicks. So what's the difference in presentation here that's causing Call of the Wild to fall short of expectations? As a number of professional critics have noted, and I can't improve on this assessment, Call of the Wild could have been filmed with live dogs throughout the entire movie. Every time Harrison Ford wants to scratch this dog's ear, there should have been a live dog there getting his ear scratched. And then when they're going through the broken ice, fighting grizzly bears, you name it, then put the creepily animated CGI dog in there who looks like something from John Carpenter's The Thing. But they didn't do that. The filmmakers decided it would cost less money and take less production time to use a fully computer-generated sidekick for Harrison Ford. And it looks like they're going to pay the price for that at the box office. So, in conclusion, this is simply my review of the changes made to The Call of the Wild from the novel, and focusing on the trailers themselves. For most of the prospective audience for this movie, nothing I've said should change your mind about going to see it. Harrison Ford, by all accounts, delivers a knockout performance acting against a blue screen or pretending to see a dog that isn't there. Go see the movie for Harrison Ford and maybe not for photorealism with the scenes or the animal creatures. And if that's not your cup of tea, then go see the clearly video game based movie starring a few humans on the side. Thank you for your time, and if you like my review videos, please click to subscribe. Thank you.